This business facility is currently in operation, so it does not appear in the footage taken before opening. The area is nearly deserted with almost no people around. It's clearly open for business, as indicated by the big red letters. This time, I'll introduce you to the business facilities that are barely operating on the edge of survival. Walking around here reveals empty tenants. What's the future of these business facilities? No matter where you go in Umatsu, on the Detective Squad we will continue to create videos that everyone can enjoy, so please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. This is sudden, but everyone was called bright and cheerful. Are you familiar with the commercial facility Pieri Moriyama? It's located in Shiga Prefecture. Pieri Moriyama used to have tenants leaving one after another, and even though the lights were still on and it was operating, it was almost in a state of being abandoned. After a major renovation, the tenants have returned, reviving the place and leaving the past behind. I will introduce it this time. I've heard that Foreo Hirakata has become a place that reminds people of the forests of Pieri from the previous century. I traveled to Hirakata City, Osaka. Hirakata City is situated near Kyoto in Osaka Prefecture. The area around Keihan Electric Railway Hirakata City Station is lively due to the presence of numerous commercial facilities. Also, there is Hirakata Park, the oldest amusement park in Japan. Hirakata, with a population of 390,000, is the 6th largest city in Osaka Prefecture. Despite its distance from central Osaka City, it has a notably large population. Now, the main road in Hirakata City is National Route 1, which runs through the center of the city, and there are many shops along it. Even though Foreo Hirakata is located along National Route 1, it's surprisingly quiet and almost deserted. This Foreo Hirakata opened in 2006, but it's a relatively small-scale commercial facility. There's also a roundabout next to it. It's a 4-story building with commercial areas on the first 2 floors and parking on the upper levels. Foreo, a facility run by a Daiwa House subsidiary, focuses on maintaining close ties with the local community. There are 8 stores nationwide, from Kyushu to the Tohoku region. The flashy signboards are situated along national highways, placed in the middle of these areas. Sandy is already closed, but when I took the photo, it looked like it had just closed or was left as it was. Even though I took pictures like this, I don't look like a normal person at all, but I still went inside. When you enter, there's a floor map on the right. There are a lot of white sheets hanging from above to hide the closed stores, which is pretty common, but I've never seen so many at once. If you look closely, even 7 Bank's automated teller machine is counted as one of the stores. Even at its peak, there were only about 20 stores, so it's not that many. Including 7 Bank as a store just feels a bit off. Well, anyway, someone pulled out an automatic door and went inside the store. It's not something you'd expect in a business facility that's open for business. It's pretty shocking. Even though it's so empty, it's brightly lit, really bright and clean. It's not at the level of being super abandoned yet, so this time I'm especially excited. Not at all. Walking across the expansive atrium takes about 2 minutes at a normal pace. In a week, only a handful of commercial facilities can be completed with such a feature. Finding an atrium like this in a commercial facility is rare and exciting. However, dedicating space for an open atrium reduces the available floor area and limits the number of stores that can fit, making it uncertain whether this design choice is beneficial for a commercial facility of this scale. There are also spaces and benches for children to play. Since there weren't any kids playing, I thought I'd play in their place, but I gave up because I'm afraid of heights. Anyway, let's walk along the first floor by the shutter. By the way, most of the shops seem to be closed, but that's probably because I'm filming on a regular holiday. Before this, it was pretty lively on Sundays. The store name was gone, but the palette remained inside. Let's erase everything for now. It's hard to say for sure, but it's likely okay. With only the sound of the organ and the silence, even if you stand in the corridor of this commercial facility, you'll collapse from the gap. Ahead, there's United Cinemas Hirakata. It's surprising to find a movie theater in such a small commercial facility. The biggest draw of Foreo Hirakata was the movie theater. Until it opened in 2006, it was part of the Aeon Mall group in Kyoto. It was necessary to go all the way to the mountains. For the citizens of Hirakata, it was a fateful thing to have the city's only movie theater. So many people were delighted. Since other tenants had withdrawn, there were hardly any places left to spend time before the movie. So is this just a resting space? Even the staff at the theater itself seemed to be at a loss. The movie theater also closed in February 2015. They had been in business since the mall's opening. The main tenant also closed after about 19 years. Soon after, a series of closures followed. Previously, there was a diverse mix of facilities here, including a 100-yen shop among the commercial establishments. This shop is basically still there, but it's almost completely empty and deserted. The original facility was used for something else entirely, and it doesn't feel like a genuine shopping mall. Even the beloved Yokomegain store seems like it's about to close down. Everything ahead is shuttered. Even though it's bright and clear, it's strangely quiet. Up to here, it's still preserved because there's a roof, so it remains in good condition. Beyond this point, there used to be restaurants, cafes, and udon shops. Now let's continue upstairs to the second floor. On this floor as well, shutters stand out just like before. Currently, the only stores still open are a shop selling golf equipment and 2 fitness centers. In the past, there were sports equipment stores, pet shops, bookstores, and game centers here. The large mall is also deserted. The place still exists, but it's outside. Even on weekdays, there were always a lot of people here at the Longevity Park. Out of the 4 major revolving sushi chains, my favorite is Juro, but what about you all? I think Juro's udon is the most delicious in the world. That's all for now. It seems that Hirao Foreo is in a similar situation. From here, I'll explain why things have ended up like this. Two major commercial facilities nearby, Kusuha Mall and Nitri Mall, played a role, particularly the opening of Kusuha Mall. The facility itself is a little over 17 years old, having opened 2 years before Foreo, but it regularly undergoes major renovations, which keeps it in the news. There have also been expansions. Since its opening, the floor space has increased significantly. In 2014, Toho Cinemas opened, and Foreo Hirakata became the only movie theater in Hirakata City. Nitori Mall is a commercial facility where Nitori Store operates under its own name, which opened in 2016. It's a typical large commercial facility, but since it's in a remote location, you really need a car to get there. The Foreo branch in Nifunikyo also underwent a large-scale renewal in 2017. They've added a lot of stores that you can use in your daily life, including some famous supermarkets that weren't there before, making it a true concept of Foreo. They're highly involved with the local community, but the location is still somewhat distant. They couldn't win against Kusuha Mall and Nitori Mall. Also, this is just my personal opinion, but I'd like you to listen. It's a medium-sized commercial facility that's about halfway along the walking route. That's what I thought. It's not as big as a rival like Nitori Mall or Kusuha Mall or even Aeon Mall. It's not a spacious commercial establishment suited for an all-day outing. A commercial facility is a commercial facility, so it's not really a standalone superstore. In the end, it just felt inconvenient to use for everyday purposes. It doesn't feel like people stop coming, whether it's on weekends or weekdays. Also, the inconvenience of access. These facilities are located along National Route 1. If you're coming from the Kyoto direction, there's a median strip, so you have to make a U-turn. If you're coming from the Osaka direction, you can just turn left from Route 1, but when you leave, you have to exit through the side road. That's right, access by train is not really considered, so it's by car. It's just one stop, and if you really want to walk no matter what, you can walk straight from Kuzuha Mall and you'll get there in about an hour from Kuzuha Station. It's a facility that's really only accessible by car, and you can't get there by train, so that's how it's set up. Initially, there was only a movie theater to attract people, but accessibility remained poor. It was judged that it could operate without any problems, I think. The parking lot is free to use, probably because of the bad accessibility. I think that's why they made it free. The free parking is appreciated if you use the movie theater, as you can't park continuously for the typical 2.5-hour duration. The lack of commercial facilities and poor access in the surrounding area has caused the popularity among Hirakata citizens to decline. Even before Foreo Hirakata, there were already signs that tenants were gradually withdrawing, but I looked into it because I wondered if there was something going on with the current situation. Looking at the floor guide, I see that most of the stores have closed since 2014, some have also relocated. But until now, I didn't really notice it. There were also notices posted about relocations and such. Palette Pet Shop, Sports Depot, Sarya Sandi, and so on. All of them closed this year. Even if there weren't many customers, it's strange that they all closed at once. Actually, it's because the contracts between the operators and tenant have expired and they haven't been renewed. Actually, it's outside the building. There's an announcement that United Cinema will be closing in February 2025. It's really closing. The reason is said to be the expiration of the lease contract. Also, according to some reports, when they looked into it, it seems that the staff of the stores that withdrew from the mall before were told by the management that there was no way for them to stay, so they had to leave. So it's the operating company, the subsidiary of Daiwa House. I have checked the financial statements for August 2015 of Daiwa House Lease Investment Corporation. According to the documents, it is clearly stated that all tenants in the Hirakata facility are scheduled to leave by February 2015. However, it is still unclear whether the building will be demolished or what will happen next. It's still under review, but there seems to be some movement towards potentially selling, even if only slightly. The business will end in February next year, likely continuing until United Cinema's closure. It seems they're fully withdrawing. If so, they'll likely dismantle the building and sell the land. That's my impression. Up to this point, I've read through the financial documents and written the article. I did some recording, but right after the recording, on February 2nd, 2015, the same day as the closing of United Cinema, Foreo Hirakata also closed. This was announced. That's what happened. Based on financial documents from February, 2014 sales figures were not reported, and the company was planning significant renovations or reconstruction. However, they ultimately determined that continuing operations at the current location was not viable. So, you can see the current state like this until February 2015. As of this video's release, the store remains open. If you live nearby, consider visiting while you still have the chance. For those who learned about this place from this video after February 2025, it means that such a facility once existed. I hope you enjoyed the video in your own way, but the original place was also really nice. I'm barely hanging on at my limit. There aren't really any commercial facilities here, so I'm not sure what you could do by selling this place. But given the location, I don't think it would be used for commercial purposes. I imagine it might be torn down and replaced with a logistics warehouse or something like that. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a high rating. I'll see you again in the next video.